Hello, beautiful souls. I'm running out of space, so now I'm going into my device storages. So now I am going into all of my tools. Okay, so I'm here today because when I was younger, I remember getting all of these bumps in my body and my mom taking me to the doctors, and I'm wondering, how have I been researched here? Is it possible that they've tracked me since the States? Is it possible that I was purchased from the States? But I know that I became research for sure in Canada. And it for sure was around the age of between 7 and 10. I have, oh man, you can even see it, a bump here. And this is what they tell you are cancer tumors and whatever. But this bump here is an RFID chip that my body is now, because I'm off the program, it's now creating tissues and balling up around it because it wants to destroy and get rid of that cell that has the RFID chip or whatever tracking mechanism. We know RFID, but there's probably a bunch of technology we don't know about. And so this here is an electromagnetic radiation tester. And so right now it's reading something, even though I just turned it on. So I'm just going to point it at the wall. Okay, there we go. So there's something in the wall there that's reading. You can see the top reading is virtual power plant units, and the bottom is unit Teslas. So it's reading something above wherever I'm pointing it. There's a reading here. And so you can see it changes. So I'm just going to put it onto my little node here because earlier it wasn't reading it, and then it was reading it. It wasn't reading any VPPs, but then it was reading the RFID chip reading. Oh, there it went. So these things kind of, and this always makes my neck tense up. And so, oh, there it is. It's a little higher. Maybe it's just a crack in my screen. I'm seeing this movement. But anyways, this thing reads, so you can see I'm reading my just between my clavicle, and you can see I have units Tesla. So there's an RFID chip under there. Let's see if this one's going to read now that it was reading earlier, but it's not going to read right now. Oh, there it is. It just has to wake up, I guess. So it was reading 1 unit Tesla there. Oh, you can catch it. So it catches it in the tissues all of a sudden. Just looking in the mirror as I'm doing this. So it reads a 10, now a 7. Okay, so in here, and I know that just by people's stories and surgeries and who they are, I can read different things. So this one's giving me, wow, that's a big reading. So I'm generating electricity. And so I just wanted to take a moment to show you that I'm not making it up. And a couple of nights ago, I recorded a video in the dark where my neighbors around here are a bunch of army and police guys, and they're all a bunch of the families are. Oh, you can see how much it's reading out here. Sorry, I just want to show you something. So I've been surveilled, and I've been wondering, how on earth are they knowing everything that I'm doing? And then my cousin Jenny is one of the people that set me up. She's part of it. She's an army brat like me. And so she doesn't know that either she's being controlled or she's doing it and she's being sneaky. But when she was at my house, she would always shut this bathroom door. And as you can see, there's an RFID reader or some kind of mechanism, surveillance mechanism, radiation mechanism coming out of this mirror right in that spot. So yeah, all the crazy that everybody's been trying to make me look like. Yes, I have been dysregulated. Yes, I have been saying things that seem out of the ordinary, except they're not out of the ordinary to the rich, privileged, noble ruling class, because they know this. They teach this to their children. The army brats like me, we're just tortured to be kept in line to do this. So this is my father. And at this point, I don't know if my son's father and his family is a victim of the criminals that my family associates themselves with, or if they are a byproduct of the criminals he and his family associates themselves with. But by the way, all of these criminals don't have legal records. But they're trying to give me one because I'm one of their rogue machines. And now you can see it's radiating. So that's why they don't want us to feel, because when we feel, our powerful centers not only get zapped by them, but we generate our own power. And they like to keep us limited to how much we feel. This is a Airkill RT 100 electromagnetic radiation field, which is read in V per Ms. I don't know what the M stands for, minutes, milliseconds, I don't know. But, and then magnetic field is UT. And then the precision electric field is 1 volt per meter, and the magnetic field is 0.01 units Tesla. And the range for the electric field is 1 volt per meter. I'm going to say per meter. But I don't know what the M stands for, so I have to go do my homework now. This is the third video. Oh, I'm feeling a pull here. So I can actually feel when they start to turn on the power, because I can feel it radiating. And remember, I'm standing right in front of the mirror where they're watching me and surveilling me. So they're orchestrating things. So this one here, you can see. So they've activated the RFID chip. When that one there is, in my mind, I think they're reading my metrics. They're reading my all of my stuff. Sorry, I just feel it really tight right here. So I think that that's where that's the largest reading. So that is precisely where that is. So I'm going to go post this now, because I'm kind of all done going to business meetings and having people look at me like I'm a problem, when really it's their own supremacist people that use black magic, and then they puppet us with our RFID chips just by their intention. It's like the Anastasia curse, the movie. We've been told what's been going on for centuries, guys. Jesus showed us. He became superhuman because we already have that power. He was here to show us that we're being controlled by the people who do not want us to be spiritually whole. And it doesn't have to be God. There are other gods. We are other gods. Just like God said to Adam and Eve, and he was talking to somebody else, not to Adam and Eve. He said, if we let them stay in this Garden of Eden, they will live forever like us. And guess what? Y'all didn't deserve to live forever, because you hadn't figured out accountability yet and ownership. And that's why we keep dying. But those of us that now can live forever are being killed. I went to a pottery class, and the man's friend went in for a surgery, and he died after a successful surgery. Why? Because they've been trying to kill him for a long time, but they're not successful because we're unkillable. They have to make us depressed. They have to make us miserable. They have to make us think that we're the ones that are the problem. As long as we realize we're not the problem, their world crumbles. And guess what? You guys think you're happy. You men, You supremacist. But how do you know? When you go scanning your body in RFID chips, how do you know what you've done is yours? How do you know that's what you think? How do you know if you don't feel? Because that's your alarm. That's your fire alarm. And they pulled those batteries out of those fire alarms a long time ago. And they're centrally controlled, just like in the new houses. Except we're not centrally controlled on a control panel that just goes on and off. I wonder what we will do, because they have me pegged as the woman who can't be without a man, the woman who can't be without drugs, the woman who can't be without whatever, but they just won't let me sing. Why? Because the moment I sing, all of these lumps that are coming out of me start coming out of you. Why? Because that's the spell. The spell is like the snake charmer, with the music. Music is the first bioprogramming language. And I'm a master at it. I'm an energy master through music, not through Reiki. I'm an energy master through music. And I'm an energy master through trauma. Much so that they know better than I do what I can do. That's why everybody looks terrified when I walk in the room. But that's not a me problem. That's a you problem, because you're the one under the spell. And if you haven't been given a conscious narrative about me, it's being fed to you through your chips. And if you don't know why you can't stand me, but you like my work, it's because of your chips and our DNA. Our ancestors remembered. The Bible said 7 generations it would be punishment would be had. And all that means is it gets stuck in your DNA, and you got to live with the consequences of having that kind of anger, bitterness in your life, hate. When we hit somebody else, when we hurt somebody else, when we disrespect somebody else's autonomy, their sovereignty, guess who we're fucking on? We're fucking on ourselves. Yeah. So every time that these guys look behind these mirrors and have seen me naked and have seen me in my own house, like the Truman Show, or like living in a glass house, that's why everybody assumes they know. But they only assume what they see from their tiny little narrative. And that's how I'm going to talk to us when I talk about this. Because that's the mentality behind thinking that we need to surveil other grown-ass adults, or thinking that we have the right to surveil other grown-ass adults because our name has a title, and that title gives us a badge. But guess what? Whoever's holding that badge and whoever's giving you that title, they own you. You belong to them, as long as you believe that that title makes you who you are, that that title gives you rights above your human sovereignty and that of other people. But here's the joke on you. You're the only one you're fucking on, not me. I already have God's favor. I already have eternal life. So when my body dies, which by the way, you guys probably already know it can't, which is why you're terrified, because God keeps jolting me alive every time you kill me, to show you guys how scared shitless you should be of him. I don't do anything alone. My mother is the divine feminine. My father is the divine masculine. And my life, fuel, my soul is source. And all the angels, and in fact, the archangels, whatever their status is, however they behaved as souls to get there, whatever they created and built was so impactful that they are now charged with keeping us sorted. So Angels talk to me through numbers. Yesterday, I've known I had to go to get some used and antique things because I'm going the historical route with my art. I'm not going modern, I'm going historical. Ancient languages of programming. Why did we care about this? Why did anybody care about anything back then? And why do we care about it now? And it's designed to feel so we can stop being zombies. Oh, and by the way, if you want to keep being a zombie, go for it. I have no qualms, but I will not be a zombie for you. It is not my responsibility to make you comfortable. If in 1885 and in 1985, we were still talking about servants, at least we weren't a bunch of fucking hypocrites back then. You want to hire me as a servant? Do it. I'll let you pay me for a servant if that's the title you give me. But don't give me the title of product specialist so that you can steal my genius, interfere with my business, so that you can control the narrative of what I say. And it hasn't worked with all the people you planted into my business to steal my intellectual property. And in fact, I keep deactivating them. That's why I'm such a threat. Because I make people think for their goddamn selves, and I give them permission and safety to feel. And I don't give it to them. I help them find it in themselves. So keep fucking with me, because you guys just keep giving me more material. And when the world catches up, I'm going to be the richest billionaire. And I'm going to be known as Billy B, Billionaire Beacon, because I bring light to bullshit. I bring the drowning ships that are about to wreck to the shores, back home to planet Earth. If you want to go live it and be an alien on another planet, you starseeds, don't come here. Don't come here talking about being a starseed. This is planet Earth. You want to go be a starseed? Go be a starseed somewhere else. Go build your millions somewhere else. Because these of us on Earth, we feel, we think, and we do. And we don't need you to train us in your modalities of space. We're here to figure it out ourselves. And I don't need your microchips puppeteering me so that I can be rich. I'm rich without your money. I have divine backing. And you know it better than me because y'all have been trying to destroy me my whole life. You know how backed I am. You know that I never am left to fall on my face. I get a lot of mud on my face, but I've never left there, planted on the ground, kissing it. Just forever, never, amen. Because I have a soul and I take ownership. And that's the mistake Adam and Eve made. They wanted to be autonomous, but they didn't want the consequences and they didn't want the work. So then they were kicked out of paradise because they couldn't appreciate everything they had. They didn't want to grow up until it was their turn to be a grown-up. So then they took on adult soul responsibilities that they were not prepared to do. And what's the outcome? The hate in the world today. Because how come we don't get to be in Eden? How come we have to toil with the earth? But remember, the only ones that toiled were the ones that didn't take responsibility. My life is about to get real easy. Not because the angels are going to sprinkle me with blessings now that I adore them and talk to them. No, I see my responsibility. So now I'm going to be showered with blessings because I'm not walking around expecting everybody else to fix my life. And even though people are fucking on me, I'm not walking around expecting them to do anything different. Y'all are going to do what you're going to do. You've been doing what you're going to do. And now I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And what I'm going to do is talk to people like they're human beings Even if I'm not the one doing or fixing their problem, if they ask me a question, just to level set like a normal human being, does that seem unreasonable to you? My response to them is not going to be, oh, that's not my responsibility, because it is. I'm a human being on earth, and it is my responsibility to make sure that I'm not being fucked on, and that I'm not fucking on other people, and other people aren't being fucked on. But we stop taking that on as a community, and we only do it when we get paid through the police, through the fire, and by the fire service, through the army. And by the way, we only do it if they're paying us enough. How do you think the mob was born? And how do you think it became so powerful? Because the corruption existed in the police, so why the fuck keep doing it? Why keep towing the line? Why am I not going to make money? Why is my family not going to do better? This is the way of the world. This is the reality check. So we want to condemn people for being corrupt, except we put them in that position. And then when we try to hold them accountable, we all scramble and hide because we have to see our own depravity in that. Like, I had to see my contributions. I'm reading a newsletter magazine from the 1930s, and guess what? Nothing has changed. We have learned nothing. As a leadership, as a government, as women, as men. We've just learned to hate in more polite ways. And now we have a culture of, it's your problem. And you better look at me like I'm worth more, because I don't take on other people's problems. I just create them and make money off of them. And this is Sonia Guzman, Santa Maria, appropriately pissed for having all of my life invaded. I'm not bipolar. I'm awake. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm not fucking the dog.